failure in job and employment. Welcome everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects every professional at some point in their career: the 20 most common challenges that lead to job and employment failure. This isn't about blame, it's about awareness. By understanding these patterns, we equip ourselves to recognize and address them before they derail our careers. Think of this as a professional self-audit toolkit. Pause briefly on the title, then transition by saying, let's start with a bird's eye view of what we'll cover. 20 challenges that lead to employment failure. Before we dive into individual challenges, let's look at the big picture. We've organized these 20 challenges into 4 core categories. Draw attention to the donut chart. Note that attitude and behavior accounts for the most challenges at 6, followed by skills and competency and relationships and culture at 5 each. Emphasize that these categories are interconnected. A failure in one area often triggers problems in others. Walk through each category card briefly, reading the challenge names to set expectations for the audience. Poor communication skills. Communication is the number one skill employers look for, and the number one area where employees fall short. Highlight the 86% statistic. This is a powerful anchor. Let it sink in. Then walk through each subpoint. Active listening is the foundation. Most communication failures start here. Unclear expression causes rework and frustration. Written communication matters more than ever in remote, hybrid work. Avoiding hard conversations lets small problems become big ones. Nonverbal cues are often the most honest form of communication. Lack of professionalism. Professionalism seems basic, but it's where many careers silently erode. These aren't dramatic failures, they're slow leaks. Walk through each card. Emphasize that chronic tardiness sends a message louder than any email. Digital etiquette is increasingly important. One unprofessional email can change how a team views you. Disruptive behavior isn't always intentional, but is always noticed. Key message: professionalism isn't a single act, it's a consistent pattern of behavior. Inability to work in a team. In the modern workplace, collaboration is non-negotiable. This challenge trips up even technically brilliant employees. Walk through the 5 numbered items, noting how each builds on the last. Emphasize the quote on the right: the inability to collaborate is a career ceiling. The 4x statistic about missed deadlines is a great hook. Teams fail when individuals can't work together. Ask the audience to reflect. Have you ever seen a project derailed by one person who couldn't collaborate? Poor time management. Time management failures are visible and measurable, which makes them especially dangerous to your reputation. Highlight the alternating accent colors to draw attention across all 5 cards. Missed deadlines damage trust instantly. Procrastination creates cascading bottlenecks. Overcommitment is a trap that well-meaning people fall into. Key insight: the absence of a planning system isn't just disorganization, it's a choice to leave your career to chance. Resistance to change. Resistance to change is increasingly career fatal in today's fast-moving industries. Draw attention to the left callout: rigidity is career suicide. This is deliberately strong language. Adaptability is now the number one trait employers screen for. Walk through the 5 sub-points. Emphasize that resistance isn't always overt. Sometimes it's subtle, like dismissing new ideas in meetings or clinging to familiar tools when better options exist. Lack of initiative and motivation. Lack of initiative is the quiet career killer. Unlike poor performance, it often goes unnoticed until it's too late. Emphasize the difference between doing the job and owning the job. People who wait to be told what to do are replaceable. People who identify problems and bring solutions are invaluable. The orange accent bars signal a warning. Each of these behaviors signals to management that you're not invested in growth. Poor work ethic. Poor work ethic isn't just about laziness, it's about reliability and standards. Highlight the 3x statistic on the right. Employees with a poor work ethic are 3 times more likely to be terminated in year 1. This is a stark reality check. Discuss quiet quitting. It's become a cultural phenomenon but remains a career risk. Emphasize that inconsistent performance is often worse than consistently average work, because managers can't plan around unpredictability. Negative attitude. A negative attitude is contagious, and organizations treat it as a serious threat. Walk through each card with the orange warning theme. Note that spreading negativity doesn't require bad intentions, it can happen through casual complaining. Toxic environments drive away top performers, which means negative employees actually make themselves more visible by comparison. Key message: attitude is a choice, and it's evaluated even when you don't realize it. Inability to accept feedback. Feedback is the GPS of professional growth. Without it, you're driving blind. Start with the insight card. Those who reject feedback are doomed to repeat their failures. This frames the entire discussion. Emphasize that defensiveness is the most common reaction and the most damaging. Blaming others is a red flag for leadership potential. Ask, when was the last time you genuinely embraced uncomfortable feedback? Poor leadership skills. Leadership skills matter at every level, not just in management roles. Walk through each card. Micromanaging and inability to delegate are two sides of the same coin. Both stem from a lack of trust. Poor decision-making under pressure is often the result of not developing frameworks for making choices. Key message: leadership is about creating conditions for others to succeed, not controlling every outcome. Lack of technical and job-specific skills. In many industries, technical skills have a half-life. What was current 3 years ago may be outdated today. Highlight the 40% statistic from the World Economic Forum. This means nearly half of employees are operating with a skills gap right now. The 5 sub-points: progress from awareness to consequence. Starting with outdated skills and ending with a widening expectation gap. Emphasize that this challenge is entirely preventable through continuous investment in learning. Poor interpersonal relationships. Relationships are the invisible infrastructure of every career. Walk through each card. Few genuine connections mean you have no advocates when opportunities arise. Lack of empathy makes collaboration painful. Failure to network is increasingly costly in a world where opportunities flow through relationships. Key message: your network isn't just who you know, it's who trusts you enough to recommend you. Conflict with management. Conflict with management is in the top 3 reasons for involuntary termination. Highlight the warning card on the left. This is a high-stakes challenge. It's not about blind obedience, it's about navigating hierarchy professionally. Emphasize that challenging authority does not mean doing so publicly or without solutions. Bypassing the chain of command creates political damage that's hard to undo. Key advice: disagree privately, commit publicly. Inability to manage stress. Stress management is a survival skill, not a luxury. The orange theme signals urgency. Walk through each card. Burnout is now recognized by the WHO as an occupational phenomenon. No work-life boundary is especially relevant in a remote work culture. Emphasize that stress itself isn't the problem, unmanaged stress is. The best professionals don't avoid pressure, they develop systems to handle it. Lack of continuous learning. Continuous learning is the compound interest of career development. Highlight the 94% statistic: employees want to learn, and they'll stay at companies that invest in their growth. This is a win-win that many professionals fail to leverage. Walk through the sub-points. Knowledge complacency is the silent killer. It feels comfortable until you're suddenly irrelevant. Key message: the moment you stop learning, you start falling behind. Poor problem-solving skills. Problem-solving is what separates contributors from passengers. Walk through each card. A reactive mindset means always fighting fires instead of preventing them. Over-escalating signals that you can't handle autonomy. Ambiguity paralysis is increasingly costly as work becomes less structured. Key insight: employers don't need people who only follow instructions, they need people who can figure things out. Dishonesty and integrity issues. This slide carries the heaviest weight in the presentation. Integrity violations are career-ending. Note the orange badge. This is the only challenge slide that uses orange for the badge, signaling maximum severity. The zero tolerance label is deliberate. Walk through each behavior solemnly. Emphasize that even small integrity violations, like taking credit for a colleague's idea, compound into a reputation that follows you across your career. Poor organizational skills. Disorganization creates operational chaos that affects everyone around you. Walk through each card. Lost documents and missing critical details may seem minor individually, but they represent a pattern that screams unreliability. Key message. Organization isn't about being neat, it's about being dependable. When people can't rely on you to keep track of your own work, they won't trust you with bigger responsibilities. Inability to prioritize. Prioritization is about strategic thinking, not just time management. Draw attention to the priority matrix on the right. This is one of the most practical tools in the entire presentation. Walk through each quadrant. Do first, schedule, delegate, eliminate. Emphasize that busywork is a dangerous trap. It feels productive but creates no real value. Ask, how much of your current work falls in the eliminate quadrant? Lack of emotional intelligence. We close our 20 challenges with emotional intelligence, arguably the root cause behind many other failures. Walk through the 5 EQ pillars on the left. Then connect each failure behavior on the right to a pillar deficit. Unmanaged emotions equals poor self-regulation. Ignoring others' feelings equals lack of empathy. Key message. High EQ doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means understanding and channeling them productively. Patterns behind employment failure. Now let's zoom out and see the patterns. This slide synthesizes everything. Highlight the bar chart. Attitude and behavior scores highest at 9.2, 10 impact. This means your mindset and habits matter more than any technical skill. Walk through the category cards. Emphasize that all 4 categories are above 7.5, meaning every category matters. There's no safe zone to ignore. The path forward. We've diagnosed 20 problems. Now let's talk about the cure. Read the framing statement. Every challenge is learnable, changeable, and within your control. This is the most empowering message in the presentation. Walk through the 3 pillars. Self-awareness. Know your gaps, continuous development, close your gaps, and intentional action, sustain your progress. Encourage the audience to pick one action from each pillar to start with. Failure is not final. Close with conviction and inspiration. Read the headline. Failure is not final. Walk through the 4 takeaways. Each one reinforces agency and empowerment. Then pause and read the Sumner Redstone quote. Success is not built on success. It's built on failure, frustration, and sometimes even catastrophe. Awareness of these 20 challenges is your first competitive advantage. Every challenge is addressable with deliberate effort and commitment. Behavior, attitude, and skills are all within your power to change. Invest in yourself. Your career is your most valuable long-term asset. End with a call to action. Take one challenge from today's presentation, make it your focus for the next 30 days, and watch what changes. Thank the audience. Thank you for watching. The book, with assessment, interpretation, and slides images, is available at this link. Other books are available at KDP, Amazon, payhip.com, and gumroad.com.